Hey everybody, I hope you're having an amazing and fantastic day today. But today we're going to discuss two of the biggest competitors in gaming history and what brings up the gaming community as a whole. So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, like you guys just read, we're going hardcore against casual or casual against hardcore. It doesn't really matter. But you know how. But what I'm gonna discuss today is basically how we need them and what they bring to the table, both sides, and how they bring each other up and bring each other down. And we still need them to really bring up the community. So we really do need them for many reasons, because if without them we wouldn't have the gaming community as all as how I think so, and what brings people in and brings people out. And for many different reasons, these two things are very good. Casual and hardcore are very good, and they balance each other out. That's the point of both of them, and it's a very good system. Even though they get into many arguments, but they still know that they need each other, because for reasons I'm going to discuss later in the video. But without further ado, let's see both of our competitors and what they bring to the table. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your Pringles and get your popcorn, because in left side of the court we have hardcore gamers, sweat and fat and live in their mom's basement. And on the right side of the court we have the big players of the East, and everybody loves them, not the casuals, and they still hold the controllers on the side. It makes them play worse, but they still don't get it. So let's discuss. So the reason why we need them both. Hardcore is basically what puts people inside gaming in the gaming world, and what we see at conventions like E3 or PAX West or PAX East, you know what I mean? Those are the people that we see there, and will really bring up the community, and which sets the foundation for how games are supposed to be built up and really build into this. Basically, they're the foundation of the game, basically, and with all gaming companies, I think, need to strive at and hit the point before they really bring in the casuals, because without the hardcores there wouldn't be any casuals, and I'll discuss that later. But for casuals, I really see that as basically the inside, basically, or the windows that bring in people, or like how I can say the air, basically, that whooshes in through the window. Basically, they're the casuals that bring there's casuals that bring other casuals in, and there's casuals that just get into the game. They don't know a lot about it. They take a lot of different breaks to play other games. Like if I was a very Call of Duty fan, but I picked up Destiny, like I'm showing in the background. But I'm like, I want to play COD. I'm not really going to play that. You can say I'm a casual at Destiny. I don't really play hardcore like other people, basically. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really play as much games as hardcore. I'm going to show you differences right here. Hardcore are basically people that have a big gaming library or play a certain game for a very long amount of time. As you can say, have a lot of games, play different type of games a lot, to racing, to FPS, third-person shooters, to simulation games, you know what I mean, strategy games, fighters. They have a very good like center of video games that don't really focus on a different type of genre. Well, as casuals focus on a game, don't really focus on different games. They really switch between two of their favorite games, basically, as you can say, and they take breaks off a lot of the MMOs or type of games that take a lot of grinding, basically. Like Destiny, you can say, takes a lot of grinding because of Forsaken, which I think it doesn't. Let me give you reason. For the Destiny mechanics, basically, and how casual can really get into this by this. They finish their campaign, They do a couple public events, do a couple strikes, do a couple crucible matches, gambit matches, do a couple bounties, then do a nightfall once on one character. As a hardcore Destiny player would basically do this: finish the campaign, do a lot of public events, grind, get a lot of Petra bounties, do a lot of powerful things, like if you have to do one crucible match or 5 crucible matches or 1 strike or 3 daily hardcore campaign story missions, basically, you know what I mean? And that's what they do to really bring up themselves up. Then they go and do a ton of nightfall on 3 characters, and then they go and grind out more, then do a couple exotic quests that they need to do, like Sleeper Simulate, basically. Get that. Then they go and do the raid of a lot of times to get their power level up. Then they stop and do fun stuff, basically, like collect all the weapons, collect all the armor. Basically, that's what they do. You see a complete difference with there. The hardcore very grind out the game, while casuals don't really take the game so seriously. And yes, you can say it's a hardcore game or a casual game, but that really depends on your opinion. My opinion for Destiny is a very casual game. It's like the lazy river, you can say. You don't really gotta try that much, but you can try a lot too. You know what I mean? It really does depend. You can try it all, just take it easy, not really grind it out, or you can be like some people and swim through the lazy river, or try to paddle the way to just restart the lazy river. Basically, it's like a cycle, basically, and I'll think about the Destiny cycle later, but you know what I mean. You can really just take it easy or take it hard. No pun intended, people. No pun intended. So you can really do that, while in very different games, taking the lazy river route is very difficult, but we'll discuss that later. And let me finish up with the casual and hardcore. Casual and hardcore need each other, because hardcore is ripping casual in, and casuals become hardcore. It's like a cycle, basically, the water cycle, basically. You need them both to bring up the community of the Destiny community, of the COD community, Halo, Battlefield, Mortal Kombat. It doesn't matter which game. It just brings up the gaming community as a whole, because casuals turn into hardcore, then they bring in more casuals. For example, I was a hardcore Destiny player into Taken King. Then I brought my friend from school into it, and we're both now hardcore Destiny players. Both of us play different games, but we're still mainly in the Destiny format. You know what I mean? But time to discuss our hardcore game today, Black Desert. Black Desert, and if you ever played Black Desert, you know it's a very hardcore game. It's not, you just can't take it easy. You can a little bit, but if anyone's tried to get to the end game or played the end game, you know it's very, very hard to take this game casually. And one thing I can say that you can take casually a little bit and not is sort of something that you can do kind of in the end game. And if you ever play Black Desert, you can probably see what I'm talking about, but it's something that you can very not take seriously. And I'm talking about life skills, like gathering, processing, alchemy, training, fishing, hunting, trading, farming, and sailing. These are all life skills, which can make you money, but you can also take slowly. Let me give you examples. Training is a very passive thing, where you can just go do this while just playing the game casually. You don't really have to try your hardest at it. Well, in the next one, cooking, you don't have to try your hardest and give your whole entire heart out, but you can still take it kind of seriously, like in the liver format. That's what I can say for the life skills. Like, say for alchemy, for cooking, you don't have to try, but you can try. But for fishing, it's a very passive thing. You can basically leave your computer on for hours and keep on doing fishing. Same for gathering, but it's kind of a lazy river format. You can try your hardest as well, like cutting down trees or gathering stuff from plants or something like that, or you can just go to a river and just gather with empty pots. But let me talk about the end game. The end game of Black Desert is one of the hardest end game PvP things I ever in any MMO I've seen. If you ever play Black Desert, you know how the PvP is taken so seriously in this game, with guild wars and guild sieges, castle sieges happening like every day, node sieges, or some of the end game things that really do matter in this game. It's not like in some MMOs like Terra where they have raids. Yes, they have like bosses that spawn in the world, but the Black Desert has no raids, no dungeons, nothing like that. It's all just open world, and I like that format. But for the end game, it's all just PvP. And if you ever played Black Desert, you know what I'm talking about here. Black Desert, you can grind out this game for a while, right? Like, when is end game? End game is when you go into PvP and never stop grinding. That is end game. This game is a Korean game, and if you ever played Korean MMOs, you know it's just a grind fest to hell. You die grinding, or you stay long enough to switch to a different game. Okay? Basically, that is Black Desert's format. You go to a different game or you die grinding. One or the two, mate. That's why I kind of got off of Black Desert, is because of the grind. I only come on there to get a couple footage like I'm showing here. I still practice on my ninja a lot just to stay up to date on just practicing with my keyboard and stuff. But you really show how hardcore and casual is such a thin line in Destiny and in Black Desert. In Destiny, you can switch between hardcore and casual at a whim, but in Black Desert, that is very hard to do. And I'm saying hardcore to casual. If you're in a hardcore guild that grinds daily, you're not gonna, and you're a high level player, you're not gonna be let go easily. And if you're casual, it's gonna be the hardest thing to even get into a guild. That's not true. That's my fault. Or just get into the end game, period. But that's the end of the video. I'm talking the end credits. So, hey everybody! I hope you liked the video. I hope you have a great day today. Sub, share, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys.